All right, guys, I'm back. Okay, thanks for your patience. I really had to go. All right, so Linda says, "What are your thoughts on pulling money out of the four?" Okay, you already asked about the 401k. Jay, which of your websites is $5 to try for 1 month? The stock market class, theblackstockmarketprogram.com is $1 for a month. So that's theblackstockmarketprogram.com, or you can go to blackmillionairesoftomorrow.com. Now, the Black Stock Market Program is different from the mini class. Some of you are in the mini class. The mini class is a shorter version, just almost like a tryout version for the full program. So feel free to go to theblackstockmarketprogram.com. Also, there's that section in the bottom of the curriculum section called "What Dr. Boyce is Buying," where I actually detail what I'm buying and why I'm buying it and stuff like that. Let's see. Hey, Larry Hurt, what's going on, brother? Let's see. Harlan says, "Do you think there's a conspiracy?" I don't know. There's always a conspiracy, but I can't pinpoint it, so I'm not even going to speak on that. I speak on what's in front of me, and I try to use common sense. For example, when I was telling you guys about how they had that headline that said 1 New Yorker per hour is dying from the coronavirus, one of my issues was that I said, well, 6.5 New Yorkers die every hour just because it's a big city and people die. So one death per hour, that doesn't. I'm sure more people die from cancer, heart disease, strokes, diabetes, and things like that, HIV, than the coronavirus. Doesn't mean you shouldn't worry about it. Doesn't mean it's not an issue. Doesn't mean you shouldn't be concerned. But it does mean the media does like to kind of throw these crazy headlines out so they can get readership. Leola, what about the Stockpile app? I have not used that app. I'm going to take a look at it, but I have not used it yet. Kevin, have you ever invested in web domains? Any perspective on it? I don't invest in web domains to park them. I invest in them for my business. I think web domains are great because they're a low cost, high quality asset that you can buy for your business and you can use that for different purposes. But I'm not into the whole idea like I'm going to buy a web domain so I can sell it later. I'm not big on that. Let's see here. Angela says, Dr. Boyce, I've lost 100K. Remember, one sentence questions if you can. That way I can get through as many as I can because I still have 30 more left. I've lost over $100,000 since the stock market started tanking. I'm very sorry about this, sister. Well, remember, you didn't lose. You lost. A lot of what you lost is perceived value, right? You looked at your portfolio. You saw that it was worth what it was worth, and then you saw that number drop. I'm not saying that you didn't lose money. I'm not saying that the pain is not real. I feel that pain. I understand. But remember that you still own the same assets. You still own the same stuff. It's like if I own my house, and imagine if one day imagine if every single day people sent you a report on what your house was worth. And imagine if that number went up and down, up and down, up and down, right? You still have the same house. You still have the same house. So I encourage you to just remember that when it comes to your assets, you still have the same stocks. You still own the same companies. And a lot of these companies are going to keep on making money after this stuff is over. If you own a share of Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola is going to be Coca-Cola, even if the price drops temporarily. Okay. So I wouldn't let, the drop in value freak you out too much. You may want to just look away. I see you said you'd like to retire in a few years. I think you still can. I think that a lot of this is going to be done in a year or two. It takes an average of 14 and a half years 14 and a half months. 14 and a half months. It takes an average of 14 and a half months for the stock market to bottom out during a crash, to hit its absolute bottom. It takes an average of 24 months for the stock market to get back to the original high that it was at before the crash occurred. There has been no time in American history, no time in American history, no time in American history where the market has crashed and never recovered. Because then the stock market would be dead or it would just be super flat and I'd be telling you a different narrative. So I'm not saying that this situation can't end up being different, but if you were at any other point in history and saw this crash and you were a buyer, like the 87 crash when you had, an insane amount of devastation going on in the market, a person who bought consistently during that devastation became very wealthy because they made that move when the times were dark. So that's the best time to get positioned is when times are tough, not when times are good. Everybody wants to be get a piece of the market when times are good. Smart people grab their pieces when times are bad. That's based on history. Thank you, Angela, also for supporting our recent event. I see that you say you saw us in Atlanta last year. Well, God bless you, sister. Thank you very much. Let's see here. Is it best to sell or trade my share during this time? I'm on Robinhood. Okay, we talked a little bit about buying and selling, so I'm gonna jump to the next question. Where can I go see the movie The Banker? Says Audrey. You can actually watch it on Apple TV. I watched it last night. It was very, very good, and we loved it. Johnston, what are good businesses to start during this time? Um, Online businesses. That's what everybody's doing. Everybody's doing online stuff. And I know in Black Money 103, that's our entrepreneurship program. And one of the contributions we throw in there is I talk a lot about my online business in terms of like how I do certain things. So you may want to, if you go to theblackbusinessschool.com and talk to one of the support specialists, they can guide you through that program and what's there and give you a discount and stuff like that. So feel free to go check that out. It's Black Money 103. 103 is the third part of our Black Money sequence. We have Black Money 101 through 106, which is a package of classes that we believe that if you go through all of this, you'll be very well versed on all aspects of doing business as a Black person. So 103 is the entrepreneurship program. That's part 3 of the Black Money sequence. So feel free to go check that out. What do I think about the Madam C.J. Walker series on Netflix? I think it's fine. I don't like Octavia. Is that her name? Octavia. She was in The Help. I'm not gonna say I don't like her. I'm just gonna say, yeah, I get real concerned about white people telling Black stories. I just am not a big fan of that. I'm not saying that they can't do it or they shouldn't be allowed, but then maybe they, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how well the Asian community would take to Black people telling Asian stories. Or what if we were all making movies about, you know, moments in Jewish history? Like, what if Black people just got together and raised millions of dollars and said, we want to tell Jewish stories? How do you think that they would take that? Do you think they'd be happy? Do you think they'd be mad? Like, what do you think? I don't think they'd be happy about that. So, I know that the actors are Black. I'd be curious to know who's behind the film, who's funding this project. And so, I'm not here so much to complain though about what Hollywood is doing. I think we could build a better Hollywood, and I could, use you guys' help in doing this. All you got to do is just, support whatever film projects we put out there. But basically, that's why we do Black Movie Night, is because, we brought in Mark Harris, who made Black and Privileged and Black Coffee and so that. Rick Mathis, who made Black Friday. We're gonna have Tierra KJ Williams, who made Raising a Black Scholar. Dorian Chandler, who did Resurrecting Black Wall Street. I want to feature these Black filmmakers on our platform so that maybe we can develop a secondary industry that allows us to not have to just simply eat whatever Hollywood is feeding us. Like, I think we can create our own stuff. That's my 2 cents. All right, let's see here. Okay, LeBron is the executive producer of what, the Madam C.J. Walker story. Okay, well, I guess I trust LeBron. I'd be curious to know who the team is, but I like LeBron. Let's see here. What should I look for when choosing a safe, reliable investment group? I would use my instincts. Do your research. Don't jump in too much in the beginning. Just take your time to get to know what's going on. Don't over leverage yourself. I think that's important. There's no substitute for time. It's like dating somebody. How do you know if you're dating a crazy person or not? Well, at least take your time and get to know them for a while. Don't jump in bed with them on the first date, right? But even then, sometimes crazy people still sneak under the radar. So, it's kind of tough. Let's see here. Dow trading at 25,000. Is that the price of all stocks combined? Anthony, that's not, no. The Dow is a complex formula. There's basically 30 companies in the Dow 30, and they use this complex equation to come up with a number. And so it's just an index. It's an index April that's supposed to effectively, measure how the market's doing. But there's a lot of indexes out there. You got the S&P 500, you got the Wilshire 5000, you've got all kinds of indexes out there, and all of them measure different things. How do I feel about Bitcoin? I own some Bitcoin. I haven't bought any more lately, but I own a lot of crypto. Different crypto, not just one. I would like to buy stocks in Walmart. How do I do it? Well, Acorn Stash, Robinhood, Cash App, all those places let you buy it, and then you look up the company and you can buy the shares that way. If you go to the blackstockmarketprogram.com, there's actually a video on how to buy your first share of stock. And then also other implications in terms of understanding why the stock prices move the way they move. So feel free to go take a look at theblackstockmarketprogram.com. That's where you can log in. Can you explain why gold's price is consistently going down? I would guess, Stanley, that it's because it went up so much because people got so scared that maybe they're getting less scared, so the price is dropping. Or it could be for liquidity reasons. Sometimes people just sell not because they think things are going down, but because they need the cash for something else. The stock market's heavily leveraged. A lot of people borrow lots of money in order to make their investments. So if the prices keep going down, then that kicks in what is called a margin call. Margin calls are when you have to sell in order to provide more equity to back the loan that you got. So your stocks, a lot of times when you borrow money to buy more stock, the stocks you own becomes like almost like your collateral. So when the value of your collateral goes down on a loan, then the banker steps up and says, okay, the value of your collateral keeps dropping. We need you to do something that's going to beef that up so that we can feel comfortable loaning you this money. So basically, a lot of selling's happening for a lot of different reasons that don't just have to do with what people think is going to happen. Some of it's emotional, some of it's just because they have to do it or whatever. Is Cash App a safe way of buying stocks? I think it is, Chris. I own some stocks on Cash App. Leroy Taylor, what if you did not file taxes in 2018? You should always file your taxes. So call the IRS. Make sure you take care of that. That's my 2 cents. Helene Stallion, do you know of any information about High Time Investor? No, I do not. I've never heard of it. I'll look it up though. Miss Pearl, in your current illustration of the Dow, it appears that it may take 5 years to recover. How can you recover when you are at retirement and will begin taking distributions? Well, just because you're taking distributions, Miss Pearl, that doesn't mean you're taking all of them at once. So, Miss Pearl, since the average retiree lives for many many years after retirement, I think once you hit retirement, your life expectancy goes way up because you made it that far. Maybe a lot of your friends didn't make it, right? So they're weeded out of the statistic. Now you're expected to live. Let's say it's 85 or 90 or something, right? So you got a lot of years between now and then. So maybe just taking out what you need and leaving the rest and letting it recover and grow I found that, at least based on history, that will be an optimal strategy. Can you briefly touch on penny stocks? I don't mess with penny stocks. They're very illiquid and it's a very dangerous market. So you want to be really careful about penny stocks. Everything about the stock market that makes it wonderful and safe and good does not really apply to penny stocks. It's a different kind of market. Can you say the website again? Says Sadie. Is that Sadie or Sade? It's spelled like Sade, so I'm gonna say Sade because I like the way that sounds. But if it is Sadie, then I love Sadie too. But the website. The website for the stock market program is theblackstockmarketprogram.com. If you're not in the program yet, if you're in the stock market mini class or something else, you can actually try it out for the first 30 days for $1. So that's theblackstockmarketprogram.com. There's a 30-day 100% money back guarantee, and it's an amazing program. People love it. If you want to educate your kids, remember, investing is cultural. It should be a family thing. So if you want to educate your kids, you can actually do our Black Business School for Children for 30 days for a $1 trial. We just changed that temporarily, so you can do the first 30 days for $1 at blackmillionairesoftomorrow.com. That's blackmillionairesoftomorrow.com. William, I'm starting my C Corp business soon. Do you have any basic tips? Yeah, make sure you have good contracts and make sure you get good guidance. So you may want to find some kind of mentor or program where you can get mentorship and support. Don't just dive in, and because you're going to learn everything the hard way. Johnston, will Black Millionaires of Tomorrow benefit teenagers? Yeah, we have people that are 60 years old in that program because some people are intimidated by financial concepts. And so the intimidation goes away when you're like watching cartoons and things like that. So we actually we created the program for children, but what surprised me was how many people signed up for it as adults, because what happened was the kids would go through the program and they would know more about investing than their parents. So a lot of the parents started going through it too. And I'm like, yeah, why not? I mean, it doesn't matter how you consume the information as long as you get it. Like I actually that's how I learned physics. I didn't know physics because I failed almost everything in high school. I was a terrible student in high school. So don't give up on your son if he's messing up in school. Like, it just took a trigger, right? School just didn't interest me. Like these white ladies teaching me about stuff that I didn't care about just did nothing for me. But anyway, when I got older, I wanted to understand physics, especially quantum physics. I'm really fascinated by it. So I started watching these videos on YouTube, and some of them were like videos for kids, but it was great because they explained it really well. And I was like, oh, that's how it works. Right. So don't underestimate that. Like, that's a good way to learn stuff. If you don't know anything about it, that's definitely much, much better than nothing. So you can be any age and be in Black Millionaires of Tomorrow. It works for all age groups. We just designed it for kids. Victoria Smith, I'm interested in marijuana stock investments. Any thoughts? Yeah, I think it's a strong emerging industry. I think that as if the Democrats get elected, I would be stunned if the marijuana stocks did not go up because the Democrats are the ones that are going to legalize it. But Joe Biden isn't as much in favor of legalization, I think, as Bernie Sanders. So given that Biden is more likely to win, I don't know what that looks like. And I don't even know if he can beat Trump. And I don't think Trump is ever going to legalize marijuana at the federal level. Um, should we fill out the 2020 census? I am. I think you should. I'm a financial advisor, that's why I mentioned that. Oh, okay, Mary, thank you for telling me. Let's see here. Teresa, you were asking about investing in cannabis. We already talked about that, so I'm gonna jump past that. Um, let's see, Marsha Rowe, should we sell some stocks and purchase bonds? I think diversification is just a generally good strategy. I'm not going to tell you what to buy. I know a lot of people are doing that though. Mina Ward, how much would you suggest to invest in the stock market for a first-time single mother? There's no certain amount. I think it's a matter of investing in an amount that where you're not going to be pushed to sell it all next week because you have a financial challenge or something like that. When they talk about having that what you call that emergency fund, I would start with the emergency fund. Like have some cash that you can get to, and then start investing in the stock market, right? And the stock market is pretty liquid though. Like you can sell your stocks pretty fast. The hard part is that if the prices drop like they have now, then you'll feel uncomfortable selling your stock because you'll be selling at a loss, right? So get your emergency fund set together so you can have some backup funds and then look into investing. That's what I would do. All right, so let's see, Tiffany. What sources do you like to use for stock research? There's sources all over the place. There's stuff like Morningstar and the financial news channels, Bloomberg, CNBC, CNN Financial. There's so much stuff out there. The Motley Fool? There's some stuff out there for that. There's a lot of stuff out there, and so but I wouldn't get inundated with it. But I would spend time every day reading financial news and seeing what's going on. Let's see here, Eric. How might COVID-19 affect people applying for small business loans over the next few months? Well, they claim it's supposed to be easier to get a loan, but it depends on what they do with the stimulus package. Nobody really knows. Nobody really knows. Are we headed into a depression? Probably. It's going to feel like a depression. I just don't think that they have the ability to get us out of this mess. I think that we're stuck. We're going to get our butts kicked. It's going to be ugly, and it is what it is. I mean, it just is what it is. It is what it is. The economy will have fundamental shifts that won't ever go away. Do you think the cannabis industry will take off, Gregory? Yes, I do. In fact, I own a lot of cannabis stock. Michael Walker, is companies like Coca-Cola and AT&T still good buying opportunities? I think they are because they're solid companies. Can you please go back over the Robinhood versus Cash App? I just like them both. I think Cash App is easier. I like the fact that they let you do fractional shares. That's really cool. And everybody has Cash App. So one of my biggest goals, one of the things we believe in the Black Business School is we want to get every Black person to invest. Every person that comes into our space, we want them to invest on some level because we know that's actually going to be a bigger wealth transfer than reparations, actually. Whatever reparations package they pass will not match the amount of wealth that will come into the Black community just by getting Black people to do two things, buy stock and buy real estate. I mean, I said real estate. Real estate's part of it, but I didn't mean real estate. Insurance, life insurance. If we can get everybody in here to commit today, just give me please give me a yes if you're going to do this, or if you have done this, give me a yes that you're going to buy some shares of stock consistently and buy life insurance so that when you die, all your wealth won't disappear and your family will be better off. Can you please give me a yes that you're going to do that? Like that's what I'm asking you guys to do. I don't just want you guys to come here just to listen and take things in. I want you to be action oriented. Action is what matters. That's all I care about. I don't really care if somebody, I don't care about being famous. I don't care if people think I'm cool. I don't care if people just really enjoy watching the show. That's all wonderful. That's good. What I care about is action. I care about making a difference in the world and making a difference in my community. And one issue I have is that I don't trust white people. I just don't. No disrespect to them. I just don't trust white people to save Black people. I trust Black people to save Black people. And I trust you to do what's right for your family. Period. And at the end of the day, I can tell you that if you are consistently investing in stock and you buy enough insurance to make sure that your kids are not destitute when you die, that your family is going to be better off in the next generation. It is very easy to create a Black millionaire. It is very easy to create a black millionaire or to create a financially secure black person. Extremely easy. You just need time and you need a little bit of planning. That's all, and then some consistency. That's it. So so for example, the reason I lay out things like the $5 a day plan is because I show you easily mathematically how a person that has a little bit of determination can invest consistently an average of $5 a day over a 40-year period and have close to $750,000 in assets to leave the family. Plus the life insurance, they're leaving over $1 million. Their family is no longer struggling. Their family is no longer broke. Their family is no longer, beating each other up over, $50. Like, you're literally in a position where you are middle class or upper middle class. So anybody who tells you that America is a place where people start poor and have to die poor, or that getting out of poverty is impossible and all sorts of stuff, those people are not your friends. They are lying to you. They are lying, and I can mathematically put me in front of any of those people. I can show them math that shows you that they're lying to you. Because to me, it doesn't make any sense. If you tell me that you're too poor to invest for your future or for your family, then that would mean to me that you need to also be too poor to buy Popeye's chicken. We buy the hell out of Popeye's chicken. If you're too poor to invest for your family, that means you got to tell me, you got to prove to me that you're too poor to go to McDonald's. Do black people go to McDonald's? Yes, they do. If you tell me you're too poor to invest for your family, that means you're too poor to go see the Black Panther when Disney puts out another movie. Are black people too poor to go see the Black Panther? No, they're not. So to me, people who really feel that they can't get out, like they really can't get, they just do not have the resources. Those are people that literally have nothing, like who can't buy shoes, who can't go to the movies, who can't ever go out to a fast food restaurant. So for people like that, you do something for them, right? Those would be mostly disabled people, maybe senior citizens, or people that just have nothing at all. We should have programs to support people like that. That's what charity's for. But most people I know who struggle financially are not people in that category. Most people I know, I will see them on one hand say they can't afford a book for their child, but I will see them go to the store and buy, a $60 pair of shoes. Or somebody who will say, I can't afford to invest, but you're at the hairdresser every week, and the hairdresser is really charging you a grip for that weave on your head, right? Or whatever it is, right? Not anti-weave. I'm not dissing weaves. I'm just saying that what you got to really kind of look at yourself and really say, okay, where's my money going, and how do I just have a little more balance? Doesn't mean you can't buy weaves, doesn't mean you can't buy fast food. You can do all those things, but you have to have balance. You got to love yourself as much as you love your habits. And I think that's really important for us to do. Okay, so anyway, that's my little spiel. I thank you for listening to that, but I got to make that point because, when I'm out here running my mouth and yapping about this stuff, I need you guys to really internalize this and take it personally. Don't you're not a part of something bigger per se. You are that's there, but I need you to also be a part of that household that you're in, and just say, okay, what little things can I do that's going to make sure that me and my family are good? Because at the end of the day, these people out here don't care nothing about you. These people out here ain't gonna save you. The white man ain't really never gonna do right by you. You got to do right by yourself. Maybe once you do right by yourself, he'll do right by you. Because one thing about racism in America I've noticed is that they don't treat all people equally. They don't treat all black folks the same. If you're a black man or a black woman and you show up with some economic power, they're going to deal with you a little differently than if you show up with your hand out begging for something, begging them to like you, begging them to help you. And that's what I've just observed. Okay. So anyway, let's see. Palmery says she's a real estate investor in New York. They are attempting to do virtual closings. Okay, that's interesting. Wow, I didn't know that. But yeah, a lot of real estate agents are trying to figure out how to deal with all this because real estate markets are going to get killed too. Do you sell any of your stocks? Says Marsha. Did I sell any of my stocks? No, I did not, because I don't want to sell anything when the market's down like that. William, what does your research show as to how long it takes for a depressed market to turn around? I mentioned that it takes about 14 and a half months for during a crash for the market to hit rock bottom, about 24 months on average for it to get back to where it was before the previous highs. Lynn, what would you suggest we do with the stimulus check? Invest, save, spend? Well, 2 out of the 3. Spend, they want you to spend because they need consumers to spend money for the businesses to get going again. But when I talk about black folks, I tell you guys to invest and save first. Spend, you can spend, but make spending lower on your priority list. Sheena, do you feel like investing in gold and silver bullion is a good idea? Yeah, I think it's always a good idea. Gold is a safe haven asset. It's something that tends to go up when the amount of uncertainty goes up, or when the economy starts to crumble. That's when gold tends to go up. Hayward, how much money do you recommend having stashed away in an emergency fund before you start investing in stocks? Some people say 3 to 6 months of living expenses. I don't know if I think that's a lot. I would say at least maybe a couple months, and then having some liquid assets like stocks and things like that that you can sell quickly in case stuff got really difficult. But remember, I gave you guys the blueprint for economic security earlier when I was talking about multiple streams of income, multiple investments, saving money, etc. Like those are things you should always do regardless. That should be the first thing you do because you want to be protected because jobs disappear like that, and this economy really is kind of uncertain right now. Let's see here, Virginia. I agree, Doc. I have a PhD in educational leadership. It was hard as shit. 31 years in the educational game. Yeah, getting a PhD, it was cool, but it was kind of like being hazed, and I didn't enjoy it, and I was fighting with these white folks the whole time, and and it just wasn't. If I could do it over again, it's not what I would do with my life. If I could do it over again, I would literally just go and get with some other black people and really learn how to be the best entrepreneur I could possibly be, and learn every trick, every in and out, every monetization procedure, every process for making money. I would literally go to school to like study. When people say, "What do you study?" I study how to make money. Like if because most of your sons and your daughters, that when they go off to college, why are they going to college? They're going to college because they want to figure out how to make money. You're right. They go and they get a skill so they can get a job, and then the white man's going to collect a big check, and then he's going to give you the little check. I'm not saying that there's any shame in having a job. I'm not saying that that makes you stupid. I'm just saying like I don't want to be a part of that anymore. That's not interesting to me. That's not a game changer for black people. Waiting on a reparations check is not a game changer. It doesn't mean the reparations check is not deserved or you shouldn't support it, but that's not the game changer. That's not gonna change your life. That's but there are other things you can do that will change your life. Okay, so let's see here. All right, so I'm gonna go now. Somebody's asking about $5 a day. Thank you for your donation, Jack. Investing $5 a day sounds like a great idea. What are the best places that you would personally suggest to invest? You know what? Actually, the $5 a day plan. You're not gonna believe this, but that model actually works even if you randomly pick your stocks. It sounds like the craziest thing in the world. Nobody believes me, but I'm confident saying this because this is just kind of common knowledge in academia. After Burton Malkiel wrote a book called A Random Walk Down Wall Street back in 1974, it's common knowledge. A person who literally invests consistently and just buys anything, like literally if they just every time, every week, they just bought a different stock, as long as they didn't buy the same thing over and over again, that's when it doesn't work. But if you buy different stocks every time you buy and you do $5 a day, you're going to have far more money than a person who does not invest. In fact, if you ask me, if you said, Doc, I want to become wealthy without investing, how do I do that? I don't know. I wouldn't have an answer for you. I wouldn't know what to tell you. I'd be like, I don't know. Pray to Jesus. Or go rob somebody. Like seriously, I would not know how to become wealthy without investing. Or maybe if you're in the NBA or NFL or something, you're making so much money that that you just, or you're in the dope game or something like I guess that can work. But regular people who are like making money like salaries or whatever, and they say, how do I become wealthy without investing? I have no idea, because that's like that's like comparing two people going down the road and one person's in the car, the other one's on foot. If you say, how can a person on foot run as fast as a person who's in a car? I would say, I don't know. Because you could be the fastest human being on earth and you still can't keep up with even a raggedy car. So even a raggedy investor who invests consistently in stocks. I'm talking mostly about stocks now. I'm not talking about, I'm not talking about big gambles. I'm not talking about gambling where you go put money into your cousin's liquor store and all that. I'm talking about just consistent investment in blue chip companies and the stock market. A person who does that and literally closes their eyes and picks a random stock each week, as long as they're consistent, they're going to be in a far better position than the person who never invested at all. That's what the research says, and that's what it is. So if you ever want to know why some people on the internet get really mad at me, they get mad at me because because the message that I share with black people is one that's completely different from the hopelessness that is constantly fed to our people when it comes to what it takes for us to get ahead. You don't have to be hopeless. There is hope. There are solutions. So let's be solution oriented. I'm tired. I'm not interested in feeling sorry for ourselves. We're too good for that. You're too great for that. So anyway, I'm gonna go, guys. There's still 57 more questions in here, and I've answered 66, and I'm getting tired. And Alicia said she's gonna make me a big salad, so I'm starving, and y'all know I love you. But if you want to try out the Black Stock Market Program, if you're not in there yet, you're gonna love it. There's a money back guarantee if you're not happy, so don't worry, about any risk or anything. The first 30 days will cost you $1. So go to theblackstockmarketprogram.com and you can see all the curriculum that's there in the section on what Dr. Boyce is buying, and I can tell you everything about exactly what I'm buying and why. So check that out, theblackstockmarketprogram.com. And also, if you want your kids to learn what you're learning, yeah, I think it's a great gift for your children, especially given that a lot of your kids are at home. You could try the first 30 days in our business school for children for $1 as well. You can go to blackmillionairesoftomorrow.com. Somebody please type that in. That's blackmillionairesoftomorrow.com. And we also have other programs there on real estate and stuff like that. So if you've already done those two programs, you want to try something else, just go to theblackbusinessschool.com and talk to one of the reps, and they can guide you to our Young Black and Rich program for millennials. We have programs on real estate investment, just all kinds of stuff. And so our goal is to build a better HBCU, and I think that we've accomplished that. We have almost 100,000 students. We're going to have over 100,000 by the end of the summer, and we're not just educating Black people here. We actually have thousands of students in Africa also. So we are growing rapidly because we're offering higher quality at a lower cost, and Black folks are listening everywhere. So we're good at what we do. So take care, guys. Thanks for hanging out. It was real. It was fun. Stay cool. Don't get scared, and make sure you wash your hands. Don't be out here coughing on people and stuff. All right, I'll see you soon. Take care. Love you. Peace.